Good morning and happy Monday. I've got some astro weather for you for the week ahead. Monday the 30th, January 30th through Sunday the 5th. So January just flew by. We are staring February right in the face, so that's kind of exciting. Yes, so we'll just get started. I'm going to go by day. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the moon will be in Gemini. Sometime today, it switches from Taurus into Gemini, but it'll be in Gemini for a majority of the day today. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the moon will be in Cancer, and then Saturday, Sunday, the moon will be in Leo. We have a full moon on Sunday, so right there at the end of the week. We are coming up to the peak of all the energy, the highest point of the whole month. So momentum is building all week, energy is building all week. That can show up in so many different ways. It doesn't always mean that you just have energy to do everything that you want to do. Sometimes our systems get overloaded and we get hit with all the energy and it like wipes us out, or it drains us, or it makes us feel tense and maybe full of conflict. And so there's no right or wrong. It's just kind of different expressions of the energy, and lots of factors affect that. What you are doing with yourself, if you're running yourself into the ground, that may cause the energy to express in a different way. So let's go back to today, to Monday, to this Gemini moon. So we'll have Gemini moon Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. When the moon is in Gemini, we are more likely to intellectualize our emotions. So our emotional body is probably a little bit wordier. It's probably a little bit more prone to communication, wanting to talk through your feelings in order to process. On today, Monday, we have the moon square Venus, which just indicates that it can be tough for it can be tough for all of us to kind of meet our needs in terms of love and affection. It can be like hard to satisfy that part of ourselves. And then the moon is also conjunct Mars. So that will give us a boost of passion, of emotional passion. And then, so we kind of have those today sitting with us Monday, the emotional passion and then a high need for love and affection. So that can kind of go together. It can also kind of butt heads a little bit. But luckily, because the moon is in an air sign, it is in Gemini, we just have a higher propensity to speaking through our emotions. So if there's something you need from your partner, ask them. If there's a question you have for your partner about what you're providing for them, ask them. We can talk through things. In fact, it's a lot easier than not. Let's see. So on Wednesday then, the moon will move from Gemini into Cancer. So for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the moon will be in Cancer. This is its home. This is its natural placement. The moon rules Cancer. So the moon is generally pretty happy to be in that sign. This does bring our emotional body a little bit up closer to the surface. Having the moon in a water sign, we do tend to feel things a little bit more deeply. When the moon's in Cancer, sometimes it can feel like waves, like tidal waves of emotion, kind of rocking us like it would rock a boat or rock us to our core. Some of us will feel like we want to take that and hide, and like suck our heads into our shell and hide from the world a little bit in order to deal with those emotions. Some of us, it makes us moody. It makes us feel like mood swingy, like we're high and then we're low and then we're high and then we're low, and it's none of it's bad. It just is what it is. So if you find yourself feeling mood swingy Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just give yourself some alone time. Give yourself some time to be quiet. Maybe some time near water so you can take a bath. You can turn on a little water fountain in your house. You can turn on like waterfall scenes on your TV and just like imagine immersing yourself in that environment. Our brain doesn't always know the difference between imagining and reality, so you can kind of trick yourself into calming down by just imagining being by a waterfall. We have more of those kind of like sensitive, caring relationships between planets going on. The moon trines Venus on Thursday. This is peace loving. This is wanting to love and to be loved. So we kind of keep that theme rolling from Monday of like needing to meet our needs for love and affection. The moon trines Neptune on Friday, which makes us a little bit more caring, a little bit more sensitive. And that goes with the themes of moon and Cancer also. Caring, sensitive, just very sensitive to like what is underneath, what is beneath the surface. So being aware and caring about other people's needs, remember to not put them ahead of your own. It may seem like the most caring, nurturing thing to do, but if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else. On Friday, the sun is also squaring Uranus, which can provide a restless energy, maybe a little bit provocative or a little bit uncertain. Sometimes if we feel like things are unpredictable or uncertain, it puts us on edge a little bit. So we can be a little bit provocative with how we express ourselves. With sun squaring Uranus, the sun is our self-expression, it's our ego, it's our personality, and Uranus is the planet of unpredictable change. It's a little bit more rebellious and unconventional, a little bit shocking. So there is a need for us to express our distinctive ego or our distinctive personality, which can cause conflict because we're not all the same. So if I'm expressing myself in the way that I need to in order to feel like I'm getting my point across, then it can it can trigger you. And the same is true. So if you are expressing your own distinct ego and asserting your own identity in your own ways, that doesn't mean that it's going to jive with me. And that is not something we need to fix. We can just accept each other for who we are. You can accept yourself for who you are. You can accept your family members for who they are, your siblings, your parents, your significant other. We are all different people with different needs, different thoughts, different perception of things. And I don't think that the goal is to all just conform and be all the same. And I think that it is beneficial to recognize the difference between you and me or you and your mom or whoever, because then you're aware of like where my weaknesses are and your strengths are, because we need it all. We need everything. So with that kind of provocative energy, we can be provoking even if it's not intentional, just for those reasons that I mentioned. It can be just like strong energy to deal with this. This is Friday. We're kind of dealing with it all week. It'll be at its peak on Friday. So I like to look at it like tension can either push you into the ground, it can like damp out your flame, or it can push you to achieve brilliant things, because without pressure, there's no diamonds. If things aren't uncomfortable, then we're not going to look for a way to improve or innovate our situation. So if you are feeling tense, if you are feeling that conflict, if you're feeling like you're rubbing people the wrong way, it's okay. Just sit with it. Be curious about it. Is it you? Is it them? And we're not going to point our fingers at them and tell them. It's just for our own awareness and our own understanding of whoever we're interacting with. Saturday, the moon will be shifting from Cancer into Leo. So it's going to bring a little bit more fire to our emotional body. It might be a little bit more impulsive, a little bit more reactive, a little bit more loud. Leo, I always think of that roaring lion. It needs that is like the pressure valve on the tea kettle. Sometimes we just have to get that pressure from the inside out through our vocal cords and through our expression that way. We have the moon trining Jupiter on Saturday, which is another really warm, giving, generous kind of energy, which is going to help to soften Venus squaring Mars on Friday. And this is just a feeling of intense passion. It's kind of like bringing balance between love and hate feelings in intimate relationships, which is the pressure's always released when the valve is released. So the lesson here with this energy, with this conflict, is to gain more control over volatile passions. Yes, you feel strongly about something, but no, you don't have to impose your thoughts on other people. Yes, you believe something to be true, but maybe using a domineering, shitty tone to convey your point isn't the way to go. There's a lot of different ways that this can express. I'm just like those two things just popped to my head first. So the lesson is to gain more control over volatile passions, over things that make you feel moved and maybe inflamed a little bit. Physically creating things can really help with this kind of energy. So arts and crafts, little projects that you can start and finish where something is created or something is completed can just help to relieve some of that. Then Sunday we have a full moon in Leo. The full moon happens in the morning. It's at 10:28 a.m. The moon is squaring Uranus for this one. So that is, the sun and the moon both are squaring Uranus. So that's going to be that kind of unpredictable, shocking, rebellious, uneasy. When things aren't predictable, our brain views it like a problem, so it can be a little bit like uncomfortable or uneasy in our emotional body, in our intuition, in our feeling part of who we are. That discomfort is not something we should shy away from. It's not something to be afraid of, because that's when we get our brilliant flashes of insight. That's when we finally have that light bulb idea where we can suddenly innovate our situation in order to make our dreams real and make our goals make ourselves move a little bit closer to our goals. With Sun in Leo, or Sun in Aquarius and Moon in Leo, we are looking at polarities for this full moon. So Leo is like your family unit. It is like that very small, intimate family unit. Whereas Aquarius is going to be a bigger picture. It's going to be networks and groups and social circles. So Leo's a little bit more intimate. It's a little bit more closely connected to home. And then Leo is a little bit more out there. It's a little bit more like social butterfly, kind of. I never think of a social butterfly when I think of Aquarius, but that is just the polarity of that. Leo is like your kids and your own inner child, like how you deal with that version of you that is the kid, the child. And then Aquarius is, it's more future oriented. It's more associated, like I said, with networks and groups. So it's just, that's the dichotomy, that's the split. So we're going to be asked to contemplate the difference between those two and how they affect each other. Because even though they are opposites, one kind of reflexes to the other. How we deal with our kids and our family and our inner child really influences the greater everyone else, all of our networks, because those people are the future. So think about that. Think about Leo themes, think about Aquarius themes, how they are opposites and yet how they do still influence each other. They still reflex to each other. I feel like that was a lot of words. If you have any questions, let me know. I'd love to talk about it with you, and I hope you have a great week.